Okay. Let's just make sure this is running properly. Hello. Okay. All right. Looks like things are running. So the other day I played this game, like the day it came out, I played this game on stream, and oh man, I have to talk about the UI. It's so bad. Um, so, like, there are various aspects of this game as a Yu-Gi-Oh sim that feel underwhelming. Um, as far as the pay-to-play elements, it feels fine for now. I have a feeling that the rewards will dry up sooner or later, but early on you get plenty of the in-game gems to get a bunch of cosmetics and cards and stuff without having to pay for them. I haven't bought any yet, and I've got basically everything I need for my preferred deck. Um, so, you know, if the way you play Yu-Gi-Oh is, you know, you have your favorite deck and you play that deck all the time and that's it, then you can probably build your preferred deck pretty easily. And by the time you decide to move on to something else, you know, 3 months from now, you'll probably have collected enough gems that it's doable. But if you want to play lots of decks and switch between them all the time, probably it's going to be an expensive game for you. So don't do that. Which also means that it kind of fails as like a system you can use to test out new decks and like play around with bizarre card ideas and stuff, which is like one of the main things you want a sim for. Like, yeah. But, you know, I guess Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro still exists or whatever, so fine. However, I really wanted to talk about the UI because it's bad. It's super bad. I don't know why it's so bad, but in order to highlight how bad it is, I'm going to be going back and forth between footage of this game and MTG Arena, which isn't great either. Like, it also has a lot of problems. It is also very pay to play. And in some really insidious ways too. And there's no like communication systems. Like it's not good for what it's trying to do. But it does a lot of things way better than how Yu-Gi-Oh does them, or how Master Duel does them. So yeah. So for example, this is how you open packs in MTG Arena. You know, I mean, it takes a second. If you have 10 or more packs, you can open them all at once instead of doing it like this. But you know, you see it's not too bad. And over here, every 6 packs you open, you get an uncommon wild card, and every 6 packs you open, you get a rare wild card, but they're offset from each other. And so what you can do with wild cards is you can just buy singles of the given rarity. It doesn't matter. I have so goddamn many common and uncommons because you can't like exchange them. Like, even if it was like a 10-to-1 exchange rate, I would like to exchange into the rare category because I always run out of rares. I usually have more mythics than I need, but like I always run out of rares. And you can build a lot of decks on this system without really having to spend money. Full disclosure, I have spent money on this game before. See, one of the things they do every time they release a new set is they release these like bundle here. It's over here, the mastery thing. Basically, every time you, complete a game, you get rewarded with points, and as you level up, you unlock the things on the list. But you get a bunch of extra things if you pay them, which is a ridiculous scam. Also, it costs like $20 to buy in, which is stupid high. So there's that, and then they also, you can buy packs directly through gems, and you can buy cosmetics and shit through gems. So basically, every time there's a new season release, they let you buy a box for a special promotional price and shit like that. And I don't mind investing a box worth of money into a digital, like if I'd be willing to buy a box of the set in real life, then there's no reason why I wouldn't be willing to buy a box of the set in the game, right? But I largely stopped playing MTG Arena because of all of its faults, and because it's very money hungry, and because I just like got tired of the way they were marketing all of their new cards and shit. So like if we go through and look at my decks, I have so many. I think these ones at the top are actually shit I didn't make. Every once in a while it just adds sample decks to your list. So those are all sample decks. But this is mine. That one I made. There's a bunch of fun different things that I did. And the list goes on. Like, it took me a long time to do all of this, like to get all the cards for all of this. I'm not, and I did spend money on it sometimes, but like, it's not impossible to do this kind of thing where you have this many decks for free. It's not impossible to do that. They also have special events that give higher rewards. So there's these gold and experience that you get for completing daily missions and weekly missions. And when you do those, you get like, you get the currency that you can spend on packs. Because when you buy packs, you can buy them with gems or with the in-game gold currency. So there's a pretty good incentive. And then of course there's special things like drafts where you pay it to get in, and then once you're in, you get higher rewards the more you win, and you get packs just for entering and shit because it's a draft. As far as I can tell, Master Duel doesn't have any of those kinds of formats yet. It seems like they have plans to add alternate formats, but for now they just have the ladder and solo play, which is really underwhelming. Also, like, you can kind of see a huge difference in like the quality of the UI. Like, looking at this screen, there's so much fucking empty space where nothing is being used, and all of the icons that I need to click on are just like this tiny little thing off in the distance. Whereas if you look over at MTG Arena, this is the homepage. Here's a bunch of shit you can click on that's interesting. Here's your bar that has like, highlights and shit, like colors, and, like, here's the goals you're working towards today. Like, it's giving you shit to look at and information that you might need to play the game. I mean, part of the reason they're doing this is because they're trying to sucker you into playing more and they're therefore buying more. But, it's also a better visual experience from the game to just like have more to look at and more to interact with, And when you click play, it doesn't just take you to one thing. Like, you can pick all the different formats. This menu has actually changed since the last time I played, because it's been a while since the last time I played. Okay, so this is for events, and this is for the other thing. Okay, so that's brawl, that's normal, that's ranked. This is events over here. This is regular, and this is last played. Yeah, so it used to be just a big list, and I guess now they're organized into little things with icons and shit. And you can toggle between best of 1 and best of 3. This actually looks much more organized than it used to. I like this UI improvement. Good job, MTG Arena team. You improved your UI. Let's hope Konami can do the same. But like look at the contrast. Like there's just like it's ridiculous. Like okay, here's a cool picture of Blue Eyes, I guess, but like where's all the shit I'm supposed to interact with in this interactive medium? Oh, it's all off to the side so we can have a cool picture of Blue Eyes that just kind of wiggles at you. What? Why? Who designed this? Actually, before we go into duels, let's look at the decks construction system. So here, it kind of takes a little bit of effort to get into deck editing. So this is what the Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck editor looks like. And this is what Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck editors have looked like on every Yu-Gi-Oh! Game since they started making them for the fucking Game Boy Advance. Like, this is Game Boy Advance UI. I don't know why. It's not, like, taking advantage of its format at all. But this is what it looks like. And you'll notice that, like, if I hover over something, there's no information about it. I've got it set up to show as much information about the cards as it will show, but there's still a lot of crucial information it doesn't show. Like, I can't see effect text, I can't see attack and defense stats, you know, things like that that might be important. I can't even really read a card's name from looking at it like this. Like, the names are not legible. And I'm sure it looks even worse on the capture because it's not coming through at full bitrate, but yeah, like, it's bad. And in order to see details, you have to click on a card, and then all the shit pops up on the side. And as far as this it goes for formatting, it's not bad. Like, this image of the card is legible. I can actually read the name and see kind of the attack stat if it wasn't covered up. Well, I can see... Nah, it's not. The lines are bolded enough. But yeah, like you can get all the information you need. You can see that right here and stuff. So it's fine. It's functional, but it's not good. It's not smooth. It doesn't like lead you into it in any way. Whereas if we come over here and we look at some decks, here's my goblin deck, or one of my goblin decks. Goblins are fun, man. Okay, so it shows you cards that can be added over here, and it shows them to you in like such detail that you can already read them and see them completely. And then cards that are in your deck, it just shows you a list, and then when you hover over it, it just shows you the full-size card image, like that. Like you don't have to click on it or anything. And I mean, like, I'm not saying this list format is necessarily better than showing the card thumbnails, but like, you know, I don't have to click on anything and I can legibly see everything. And I do realize this system of hovering over things to enlarge them doesn't work on the console versions of the game, because Master Duel is across multiple platforms, and MTG Arena is only on PC. So obviously MTG Arena can take advantage of its PC nature in ways that, you know, Master Duel can't do unless they're willing to create version differences, which they should be willing to create version differences to optimize for the platform they're working on. But regardless, you know, I do understand why when you're doing, you know, when you're doing this on console, you would need to have the individual icons that are selectable by with a D-pad or whatever. But there are lots of ways you can improve this. For one, you don't have to show each copy of a card side by side with each other copy. You can just show one copy and then have a number on the corner that indicates how many copies are in your deck. In fact, they do that for listing the number of copies that are in your inventory, right? Like right over here, it says I've got 6 of this card and 3 of this card. Like, you don't have to show them all side by side. And because you don't have to show them all side by side, you don't need this huge amount of space dedicated to that. And you can have the big amount of space dedicated to showing larger images of the stuff that you want to look for, you know? Also, if you're on console, what you can do is have, you know, tabbed menus, right? So that this thing is tabbed, so it switches between card list and bookmark. But in a lot of previous video games that they've made, the tabs switch between showing what's in your deck and showing what's in your overall inventory. And so, like, why couldn't they do that? Why couldn't they just have this whole section devoted to one or the other, you know, one at a time, switching back and forth? Why is that not an option? Because then you could make the card images a lot bigger and more legible and shit. Like, even this would be an improvement, but this is not big enough to be legible, right? Like, if we go back to MTG Arena, this is way bigger, right? This is a much bigger image, as compared to this. Also, when it comes to deck building, the search options you have, they're like good enough, but they're not like exactly as good as what I might expect. Like you look at this list and you see like, oh man, there's so much stuff, right? But if we go over to MTG Arena and we look at their advanced filters, right? Like, there's a lot more stuff. Like, not only can you sort by format, because they have multiple formats, but you can sort by the individual set. So if you're looking for a card that you saw someone play and you can't remember the name, but you know what it looks like and you know it's from the most recent set, then you can, you know, just search for the most recent set and the color, and like, boom, you're off to the races. You know, and so, like, that is a feature that I feel like would be very useful in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or in Master Duel, especially because of the way they do packs. I showed you how packs work in Arena already, but let's go ahead and go back and show you how packs work in Master Duel. So in Master Duel, you can get packs at the shop, right? That's reasonable. That's where packs come from. But they only have these 3 regular packs. And the rest of your packs are secret packs that only last for a certain amount of time. Mine are all about to run out. And you only, like, unlock them when you find a card from that pack in another pack. It's asinine and nonsensical. And also, these packs don't really line up with anything. Like here, for example, Great Shogun's Rule is the packs that I opened in order to get 6 SAMs. And those are most of the featured cards, sure. But if you look at the cards included in this pack, there's 6,000 cards included in this one pack. What the fuck? How asinine. Like you know that you don't put that many cards in a set. You know that you put 120 cards in a set, give or take. Like that's ridiculous. That's insane. Like, look at this shit. You can't get all of the cards in this set, especially not in a time limit. Like, why? Why? And if you're not going to limit cards to the set they were released in or a theme or anything, then, like, why even have them separated into a bunch of packs anyway? Literally every single pack is this big, and there aren't so many cards that unique cards that like you can have that many packs of this size. I just don't understand it. Like, because like if you look at this one and you look at cards included, it's the same thing. Huge number of cards included, and it's not, you know, like there's so much overlap, and there's no point to it. Like, it's just an asinine way to divide up the cards and confuse players about where they can get what they're looking for. And it sucks. It's bad. Also, here's what happens when you try to open packs. First, you have to purchase them. You don't get packs as rewards and stuff that you open later. But they do provide a skip button, but I'm going to play out the whole thing so that you can see how absurd this pack opening animation is. I'm like yeah, that is your pack opening animation. Oh, secret card pack. Yeah. So yeah, it's it is a mess there. And again, like, this is just not as good of a layout. Like, if we go back over to NGG Arena and we look at their store for buying packs, right? Like, you just click your set and then click the number of packs you're interested in, and you know, the sets are just shown by their set symbol, and it's just like this smooth thing. You know, you've got all these like individually segmented UI elements with the rounded corners and shit, like, and this does not look smooth. It looks jank, partially because of the way they fucked up the edges on these things. Like, what are you doing here? But yeah, the other thing though, if we go back to the deck builder before we start showing gameplay, because it only gets worse with gameplay, the other thing that I wanted to show you is the card purchase system. So if I go over here and I just get specifically cards that I haven't collected, right? If I want to make, you know, this card, if I decide this is a good card to make in my deck, I can add it to the list and then craft them all at once, which is nice. But if I don't want to do that, I can also just, you know, right click it and I have the option to craft it. And this would take up a mythic, so I'm not going to craft it right now because I don't actually want that card. But, you know, it's just a 1-to-1, right? Like, you're guaranteed 1 rare for every 6 packs you open, and for every 6 sets of those, you're guaranteed 1 mythic. Plus, you get wild cards whenever you open a 4th copy of a card, unless it's technically a different version, right? Like, they'll reprint cards in a set, and so the new set version doesn't. It's stupid. This card changes. But like, you know, and sometimes instead of giving you a specific card, they will give you one of the wild cards. I don't think any of these are going to do it because these are for the new format thingy, but oh no, one of them did. See? So you just get an uncommon wild card instead of an uncommon sometimes. So like, and that can happen for the mythics too. So like at any rarity, there are multiple ways for you to get wild cards and use them, right? And there isn't a way to like turn old cards you don't want into wild cards, or exchange the rarity between wild cards, but you can get a lot of wild cards. They're not hard to get. Over here, what you have to do to get cards is, first of all, if you want to get to the stuff you haven't put in your deck yet, you have to scroll all the way down. Second of all, if you want to build something, it costs 30. But if you want to dismantle something, it only gives you 10. That is a 3-to-1 ratio. That means that for every card you buy, if it happens to be a duplicate, you get back a third of the value of that card. That sucks ass. I hate that. They do at least make it easy to dismantle all of your extras at once, but like, so bad. Okay. So we've gone over that. Now let's look a little bit at what it looks like when you're playing the game. So for this, I guess we'll play this one. I just don't want to do a ranked match because I don't want to have to, you know. Oh, but the practice is fucking stupid and won't show everything properly. Okay, so we'll just go do a ranked match because fuck it. Okay. So the big problem is that like all those bad UI elements I pointed out when deck building also apply when playing the game. Also, this game is really bad about like turns taking for fucking ever. And the way it does counters is awful. I might get a chance to show that off. I will get a chance to show that off. So yeah, also in the Yu-Gi-Oh game, for some reason, every time you do anything, it gives you an option to respond. And you have to like manually click no. Like, yeah, game, I don't want to MST my own fucking card. And you might think, well, hang on. What else are they supposed to do? You know, that's how they've always done the Yu-Gi-Oh Sims. And it is, but that's why I've always fucking hated the Yu-Gi-Oh Sims and not fucking played cards that are quick plays or traps or whatever, because I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. Let's activate the dojo. No, I don't want to blow anything up. Alright. Yeah, so let's just activate this real quick to show you. So it wants me to select where I remove cards from, or counters from, but I have to like select each counter, even though there are lots of effects in the game that have more than one counter, like this one. And it still wants me to blow up my own stuff with MST for some reason. Okay, I was just double checking his effect. I was actually going to grab this guy. And then special summon. And then... yeah, let's go ahead. Let's make the link. I kind of fucked up by placing Xian in the middle. Whatever. Yes, let's activate his effect. Grab Temple. Okay, let's... takes so long to do basic shit that you could do very quickly otherwise, right? And I'll show a game on Arena in a second to demonstrate the difference. Don't worry. Okay, and then we're gonna special summon this guy. He's not exactly the most useful, but we're just gonna put him there. But it is a 2500 body, and that's not exactly something to sneeze at. And see, this just takes so fucking long to interact with all these counters, and like, it shouldn't. Like, you should just be able to say, take all the counters from this card and move on, you know? I kind of forgot that the materials on him can't be used for further plays until I use them up. That is my B. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this again. And then let's activate his effect. Check one of those guys out. Buff that, I guess. And now I can resummon it. What is it wanting me to special summon? Oh, the link monster I can summon again. I don't know that that would necessarily be a great idea, but yeah, fuck it, why not? Alright, we'll enter. See how fucking long it takes just to set up a simple board? Ugh. And also keep in mind, like, look at this. Like not only can you not see your cards completely at the bottom of your screen, but like that means you can't see your attack stats and shit at the bottom of your screen for some reason. And you can't read your effect text, and there is no hover over. Like, it recognizes that I'm hovering over. That's why it makes the card move up. You know, and again, like, even if you're on console, like, when you move the cursor with the D-pad to select a certain card, that card should highlight in a way that shows you the details of the card without making you press an extra button. That's just like basic UI shit. And I don't get it. Oh, Speedroids. I've never played against this deck before. I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Before this deck happened. Yeah, cool. Oh, yeah, that is one of the things about this game. It is cross-region and cross-platform, so like you'll sometimes have really bad connections to people, and they'll just take forever to do shit. Like I do realize that I took a while on some of my effects, but you know, is just slow. It's a slow game. I don't super love it. I guess we're gonna go ahead and play this out all the way because I'm had a good hand and I want to use it. Basically. I mean, how often do you open Gateway? Like, I only had one other monster with it, but like I made it work, and like I built a board, and like I don't want to unbuild my board. Wow. Monster effect removal. I didn't have anything for that. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, this deck was really, really good in its time, but it doesn't really do enough now. Like even though you can spam out a lot of cards, none of the cards really have meaningful protection. At least not the ones that you can spam out easily. And like you can get some decent damage values, but not like OTK damage values. And you just don't really have a lot of options for stopping your opponent's plays or dealing with your opponent stopping your plays. It's just not as good as it used to be. Okay. Cool. Turns take so fucking long, and the timer, like the timer you have to work with is fucking insanely long. I don't understand it. Like, I kind of get it because, like, you saw even when I was just taking counters off one by one laboriously for no reason, it's still, you know, the timer was still ticking down during that, even though it was in the middle of activating an effect. I wasn't like dragging my ass or anything. So like, if they're gonna drag the timer down even during shit like that, then I guess it makes sense to have such a huge timer. But it's just kind of a pain in the ass. Also, I'm not really sure what this guy is trying to do. Like, I don't really know what the Speedroid deck does, but I can't imagine that all of like that is what it was supposed to do. Because he just back to the one monster he had to begin with, and one back row, and one other, like it is not a good board. It's worse than my board, and I didn't like do that much, so it's weird. What a weird ass card. Why would you roll a die to change the level after you resummon it? Like, that's so asinine. I mean, I guess, whatever. Whatever you're into, I guess. I just do not understand. No, I don't want to do anything with his effect. So... Alright, now do any of his things, like, have an effect destruction effect? Oh, I can only target that one for attacks? Well, that's fine. That one's weak. I'll attack over it. Okay. Has its effect negated anyway. Nope, none of them have destruction prevention, anything. Weird. Let's... go ahead and pump up Shinai. And then just battle, because I don't care. Like there's a whole big ass combo I could do. Technically, since I have these cards on board, I can just do an infinite combo to get infinite counters. Oh, what, he lived? Oh. What? Oh, it's waiting for him to respond. Okay. I'm like, why the fuck is it frozen? Alright, cool. Neat. So let's tack over that. Cool, like... Cool job, dude. Just let me attack. I don't know why it has to take this fucking long. Like... Okay. Are you saying you're reusing that card effect, or what is the purpose of this? Why are you so fucking slow? So fucking slow. I don't understand it. Oh, he's using that to make a summon? I thought he couldn't summon something while he had the thing on top of his extra deck. Maybe I just don't understand how pendulums work. Why does it end up on top of the extra deck anyway? Why can't it just go to the graveyard like everything else? Yes, I'll still attack it. It's still way fucking weaker than me. Oh my god, dude. Just fucking, like... Oh, okay. I guess I didn't read his card. But, whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. That's definitely one thing I really like about this deck, is that you don't have to, like, fuck around with all the bullshit. You can just summon cards, and the cards have effects based on, you know, being friends with each other, and you can hit stuff. Very basic, very fun. Everyone else wants to take 5 fucking years to play the goddamn game. And you'll see when I switch over to playing the Magic Arena, it does not take this fucking long to play a game. Like, this is insane. Like, slow play is sometimes a thing over there, but, like, for the most part, the timer keeps that shit in check. It's just kind of ridiculous. Cool. You gonna do something, or you're just gonna wait to chain your own card? Man, this deck, this player, this game, heckin' slow. Yeah, a lot of people underestimate the power of Temple of the Six, but, like, it's pretty fucking good. It's not hard to get 10, 20, 30 counters on it, and just your opponent's monsters all have 0 attack. Get wrecked. But yeah. I think he's gonna make a summon of some sort, but it's just like, it takes so long. I don't know what's happening. Like, cool. This is the same kind of deal, like with the UI. Like, it's good that it shows you these numbers and that it shows they're red or blue if they're buffed. Like, that's nice. Very good. I like that. But the cards are so small, you can barely read them. You know, it's just, it's annoying to look at them. Like they aren't, how do I put it? They look bad, basically. They look bad and small. And why did he attack me with the smaller one? Can this one direct attack? Is that why? Oh, does he think I care if it kills? Oh no! How will I recover? What a fucking dumbass move. Like, sure, you dealt 100 damage, I guess. Congrats. Just gonna get it out of the graveyard. What you got? Go ahead, buddy. Do it. Whatever it is. Just get it fucking done with. I'm trying to activate a card here. I feel like this card has effects. Ah. Okay. I mean, cool, I guess. How do I want to do this? I can summon Rihan. It's not a good play generally, but I can. Sure, let's summon Rihan. Let's just, oh, I didn't, okay, here we go. Oh, that was the wrong play. Because I ruined the loop. I need to have one of them on board to start the loop. I'm dumb. Alright, well, I don't need that much in order to kill these guys, so I'll just special summon. Yes, that works. What does Rihan do? I can't ever remember. I know it's bad though. Banish a 16 from your hand or face up on your field. Target one card on the field. Banish it. It's actually not too bad. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Cool. And then don't want to use 2 on it. Oh, but I don't need it anymore. I can just run over everything here. Come on, dude. Just fucking admit defeat and move on with your goddamn life. Like... Shit. What a boring game. Okay. Alright, cool. And now you can see the reward system here. These things give you access to special packs that open you 2 cards at a time. I don't know why. Yeah, so that's kind of how it works over there. If we come over here and we go, you know, let's play a game. Let's just do historic, and we'll just take my fucking goblin deck because goblins are fun. I don't remember which goblin deck I was using in historic most recently, so I'm just gonna go with the one that looks like it's probably stronger because it has a stronger card on the front. So one thing I've noticed with this is that it sometimes takes quite a while to wait for an opponent. I don't think that will be quite as big of a problem with Master Duel because it probably has a larger user base. Not because Yu-Gi-Oh is more popular, but just because it's on more platforms and across more languages. And so, like, you'll probably get matched up with someone more frequently. Yeah, if this doesn't work any faster, I'll just do a bot match to show you, because that's... oh no, there it goes. Okay. Maybe it'll go. Ah, here it is. Oh, they DC'd. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, if your opponent DCs right away, it's just a draw. So that's cool. Okay, let's... Oh yeah, it defaults to last played. That's nice. But let's go with a bot match. Come on, am I not allowed to play a bot match for some... What? Why wouldn't I... Why is the play button gone? Did my game crash? It's running real slow for some reason. Yeah, and that button's gone. Okay, well, I think it just broke somehow. So let me get it back up real quick. Oh. Sorry about this. It'll just be a second. Yeah, like I said, MTG Arena isn't great either. I'm really only using it as a point of comparison because this is the same kind of game and it's been out for years, and like, I don't know, if you're gonna simulate a TCG, simulate a TCG. But, you know, do it in the way that like looks good and is fun and shows you the necessary information in your goddamn UI. I think it might have frozen up again. It's being real weird today. I don't know. Sometimes they push an update and it bricks everything. I haven't played it in months, so that might have happened recently. I don't know. Alright, here we go. Alright, play. Let's go over to the tabletop and we'll play a bot match. And it won't let me. Why not? Why won't you let me play a bot match? Oh, because I have to pick my deck first. I'm an idiot. I assumed it would just go back to the deck I had before. But that was on a different setting. So the game wasn't fucked up. I just wasn't paying attention. Cool. Nothing up worked. I'm just being dumb. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. It's whatever. Alright, so here you can see your cards. Magic has a rule where you can mulligan to, you know, redraw your hand for more consistency. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have that rule because Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have land cards that brick your consistency all the time. So yeah. But see how like you can see your cards and like sure they're cut off a little bit, but as soon as you hover over it, they're not cut off anymore. Like do you guys see how like cool and useful that is? And here is the phase system, right? Like you notice how when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh I had to like manually change phases every single goddamn time and it sucked. Well, here the phases change automatically as you go through the necessary shit, and you can like put a stop so that will automatically make the game like freeze on that phase so that you can interact with it. And if like you have a card that like could interact, it just highlights it and shows like, hey, this is a thing you might want to use. It doesn't like create this huge fucking in your face text box that stops the game and wastes everyone's fucking time, you know? Actually, and also, you know, there's some nice simple stuff for, you know, making the game go by faster, you know, selecting all attack so that everything attacks. And during your opponent's turn you can just set it to pass automatically, because like with this deck I don't have a whole lot of cards that directly interact with my opponent, so why would I, you know, stop every phase to try and interact with my opponent? You know, keep that one. Whatever. And also you can hit control. I won't do it because I'm in the middle of an animation, but you can hit control to enter full control mode, which lets you like have more intense control over like the order in which effects activate and stuff. It's very useful. They also did add this where you can view the state of the board at the end of the game and like take a second to review things and be like, what happened? Why did it happen? You know? You might also have noticed that when I'm playing here, I get a bunch of different boards just kind of randomly. Instead of in Master Duel, if you want to have a unique game board, you have to buy it and equip it to your deck. And that means that you're going to have the same game board for your deck every time. And what if I want to play my deck on a different game board? Well, you're going to have to go out to menus, then wait for the fucking home screen to update so that you can click on things again, then go down a menu, then come over and change your accessories. Like, fucking hell, man. That's so much. Everything in this game, like every time you hit that home screen, it freezes up for a second and you can't click on anything, and I don't know why. But you know, everything you do in this game requires you to navigate multiple menus that just don't look good and aren't designed to be easily navigated. And it's just like it reconnects to the server every time you hit the main menu. Why are you doing that? Why? I have to navigate through the main menu to get to anything else, because unlike Arena, you don't just keep everything tabbed at the top where I can quickly click over to the other thing. Instead, you treat it like a fucking web page that all stacks, and in order to go back, I have to press the back button like I'm on a fucking Android or something. Which, like, maybe they're doing that for compatibility with the phone version, I don't know. But, like, you can have different UIs on the different versions and still have the games be cross-compatible with each other. Like that's not a problem. So yeah, it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. It does sometimes look good, but most of the time you're only seeing the pixelated as fuck thumbnails, and so it doesn't look good. And I don't know. I was hoping for more. I was hoping for it to be as good as MTG Arena, which is a program that I already have so many fucking complaints over, but has been out for years. Like, there's been so much time for them to learn about this shit and like look at it and be like, oh, this is how our main competitor is doing things. Why don't we take their design and improve it? No, they didn't do that. They just did their own shitty thing that looks like shit and doesn't have anything to do with anything. And I just why is it so bad? Also, like, very barren. Like, I get that the game just released and shit, but like, the first time I opened up MTG Arena, it had way more shit in it than this. Like, this is ridiculous. And again, like, I don't understand why packs are hidden until you unlock a card. I don't understand why there are so many cards in each pack. It's just ridiculous. You know, and then you get this, like, cool, I guess. Why are these cards here? Like, these are not good cards. This is not a card I've ever fucking seen or heard of. Golgoyle? Golgoyle. Really? When the fuck did that print? I'm fairly certain this is a card that was made for this game to be pack filler trash. Like, I can't prove that, but like, even amongst normal monsters, this is pretty shit. Like I've seen a lot of shitty normal monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh, but this is a really shitty normal monster. And I can't show it anymore, but like, those are advertised as being like classic cards from the game's history, and that nope. Golgoyle is not a classic card from the game's history. So yeah, that's what this entire thing was. Actually, I haven't looked into their... Oh, I have a follower? That's cool. I guess someone I played against at some point. Sure. We'll follow you back, guy with a Korean name that I can't even hope to understand how to spell or pronounce. No, actually, that's Japanese, not Korean. Yeah, those are kana. That's... or kata, rather. Yeah, so that's a thing. That's cool, I guess. Yeah, it does look like their interaction system is maybe a little bit better. I don't know if it's... Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a way to talk to people, though. Which feels like kind of the most important thing. So, yeah. Your community feature doesn't feature a way for community members to interact with each other directly beyond dueling. So, nice. Well, that's about everything I wanted to cover in this. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to go up on the main channel instead of a regular video today because reasons. Shit came up in life. Deal with it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next life. Laters.